For the low-key introduction. That was great. Well, I wonder how many of you have ever wondered where that little I in front of the iPod and the iPad and the iMac and the iBook and the iCloud comes from. Because I did some research and actually nobody knows what it's supposed to mean. But there is agreement on several things. One, if it's got an I in front of it, it's usually quite expensive. It's also very, very useful, but it needs to hold this a bit. But it also needs to be recharged. It needs to have maybe a third-party operator to connect you to other people. And so I want to show you, a bit like Steve Jobs tonight, introducing the new I concept. I have it in my pocket. And this I concept, it is cheap. It comes in any color you like, any size you like. It doesn't have any batteries. It can be replaced for almost no cost, and you can give it away. And I also know what the I stands for. Would you like to see it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, here we go. I just brought a small one tonight. I want to introduce you to my iSTRiNG. Isn't it amazing? I just brought a white one tonight. And the I stands for imagination. Because with a piece of string and a lot of imagination, you can see all sorts of things very easily. For instance, suppose you would like a cup of coffee. Well, you don't have to go to Starbucks and pay a lot of money. You can actually, with your iSTRiNG, you can imagine one. If that's not big enough for you, it's okay. You just double the size or more. And there you have a really big cup of coffee. And suppose you want to travel. Lots of people love to travel to see different sites. Well, with the iSTRiNG, no need. Suppose you have that great desire to see the Eiffel Tower. Well, it's at your fingertips and with a little bit of help from the teeth. And suppose you were in Paris, you decided to take up a new hobby like skiing. There are your skis, and take a train to the south and go through a couple of tunnels. And then come out into the valleys, and before long, there you would be on the slopes of the Alps, skiing up and down. But the iSTRiNG isn't only useful for making things, it's also useful for teaching, because Nietzsche once said, true freedom is being able to dance in your chains. Well, that's true for someone with an iSTRiNG, but with imagination, there's usually a way out of your chains as well. Even if they're quite difficult and quite complex, with imagination, it's possible to become free. As long as you're not wearing a mic around your neck. My son, my youngest son, has just moved into a new house and he loves animals. But the owner has said, no pets. The good news is he has an iSTRiNG. And so he can have a virtual pet. So he can make one of these. They're actually quite useful to have because they don't make much mess. And this is his little puppy. I hope. In a minute. Yeah, there we go. And finally, when you play with your iSTRiNG, it's always important to have some rest. So we can have, this is just a small one maybe for a baby, this special version, but we need to have a hammock of some sort. So let's see if we can make one. Yep, we can. Okay, there's a nice little hammock for you to lie on. And when you're finished, all you do is pack it away, roll it into the corner, and you have nothing but your imagination string back again. Thank you. Now, over the past year, I've been working with a group of dancers in Brussels. I spent 9 days teaching them some workshops. You'll recognize some of the shapes and the stills and the little clips I've done in the workshops. And in May, they presented a piece for 4 days in Brussels and then went to Stockholm with a piece called the 10th piece, and used quite a lot of string movements, I would have done it differently, but I'm not a dancer. I'm a string player. So this is the version of the rehearsals, and then about 4 minutes of video altogether. Thank you.